Missed out on breakfast? Fret not. It's never too late to grab a bite.
The question we are asking on today's Breakfast Bites is, are you exhausted? So without further ado, please do explain.
On a scale of 1 to 10, this morning so far, I'm okay. I give it maybe a 2.
Wait,
Okay,
At this point of time.
So 1 being you're extremely tired, or 1 being you're extremely energetic?
1 being okay. Yeah.
Okay, so that's because you've probably come off a 6-day break.
Yeah, that too. And of course,
Fair point.
it's the start of the day. So maybe if you ask me the next hour, I'll be different.
And your good self.
1 being energetic and 10 being shattered, I would say I'm maybe at a, emotionally and physically speaking, maybe an 8.5.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
And a skill.
Yeah.
Wow, that's pretty high.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's
Matt.
pretty average, actually.
I'm probably at a 5/6. Doesn't help that my back is acted up again this morning, but hopefully they'll be back in order soon, pun intended. Anyway, the reason apparently, according to one expert, might be how you're using technology. So are you guys serial digital switchers? I.e., you're researching for the show, for example, but also responding to emails from colleagues, paying your medical bill, replying to a text, and dressing up your kids at the same time.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't have to do
all
all
the
those
time.
things, right?
So about being productive.
Yeah. And it's one of those things where life just comes at you so quickly. So, you know, while you're doing something, your phone pings, you have to pay for something, and then you have to quickly open your laptop to do something else. And then your iPad is there to help you with, it's just, sometimes I pick up a device and I forgot what I am supposed to be doing with that device.
Correct.
You know?
So this relentless barrage of interruptions and switching between thoughts and tech platforms is leaving us utterly exhausted, according to a family professor of technology management. Didn't even know one existed. So how does it make us exhausted? Well, according to Mr. Paul Leonardi, every tool we use requires some amount of cognitive focus. We have to learn the tool we're enmeshed in. When we switch, we have to disengage and re-engage in another area of focus. And we also have to switch how we're using that tool. Our brains do not do a good job of switching that quickly. The main issue is that we haven't evolved to make the switches as quickly as we do today.
I think my brain's all right. Can switch easily.
Well, you would have said you were a 7 maybe last week.
Maybe. Okay.
Okay. Why do we not realize that we're getting exhausted from the digital switching? Well, it comes back to the way our bodies have evolved over time. So we have good sensory feedback to show us when we're physically tired. Otherwise, we could collapse, and that's dangerous. So the body knows to send signals to the brain to say stop. But we did not evolve to sit in an office in front of a computer, so our brain doesn't know to tell itself it's tired. We can just keep taxing ourselves, but that residue builds up over time until it hits a critical mass.
So it is based on science, evolution, and whatnot.
Yeah. So what can we do to address the exhaustion? There are 3 kinds of switches we can make throughout the day. Switching between modalities is switching across tools. So think about the different video conferencing platforms you use. You might use Zoom and then switch to Teams. They seem like they're roughly the same, but how many times have you been in a meeting and thought, I need to share my screen. How do I do that on this platform? And those little changes are enough to really wear us out when they accumulate over time. The second type is what is called switches between domains, and that's when we're working on one task, get interrupted, and then switch to a different task. The unplugging and then replugging into the other task takes quite a bit of effort. It's a tremendous tax that we pay. The third type is switching between different areas of life. So how many times in your day are you getting a quick text from your kid's school, or the plumber calls to tell you they're going to be late and wants to talk about the problem in your house? Those switches across really big domains are even more exhausting because they pull us completely out of our thought process in one area, and then we have to get back.
Okay. I can draw a bit of an analogy there. I think I've mentioned this before. So imagine holding a glass of water for maybe 5 seconds. It's fine, you hold it for 5 seconds. But if you hold that glass for much longer, it takes a bit of a toll, and then it accumulates, the fatigue adds on. And I think this is where, you might not feel it at the moment, but it all adds up.
Exactly.
But the issue is, what can we do about this? Because you know what? We have to respond to the kids' school. We have to also continue working, and we have so many different parts of our lives that we have to tend to, and we constantly feel like we need to be 100% at every part of our lives. And technology helps with that, and sometimes you do have to share your screen on Zoom and have to worry about that. So what is the solution? It's not to dump things, because you can't.
More technology, AI.
More smart technology.
more smarter ways of using it.
Yes. So social media is apparently the most exhausting type of platform to use. No surprises. Why, though? According to the professor, 3 forces that exhaust us. One is attention. On social media, we're switching between things because apps are pushing us different notifications. First, somebody likes something, then there's an ad. The second force of exhaustion is making inferences. So we get a snippet of data. It's not quite enough to tell us the whole picture. So we have to fill in the blanks, and that takes effort. On social media, we're constantly making inferences. We see somebody's on a trip, and we might say they must have a lot of money and they're having the time of their life. We're filling in the blanks. The last is emotion. When our emotions get peaked, whether for good or for bad, that's also exhausting. On social media, we do social comparison, so we get jealous that somebody else is doing something we wish we were doing, or we get annoyed that we see a bunch of friends hanging out and we're not part of the group. It's also exhausting because it maximizes all 3 of these forces.
I'm getting tired of listening to that.
Yeah.
Maybe I should stop then. It's especially hard for people who work from home to avoid this kind of exhaustion. Is that something that surprises you?
No, because when I'm at work, you're kind of forced to concentrate on work, right?
Yeah, that's right.
But when you're at home, you kind of get pulled into different directions. Yeah.
Correct. So I'm not going to go into that one too much. In a nutshell, if you're feeling tired, run down, maybe it's not the kids, maybe it's not work, maybe it's just that phone screen. So go and look at it.